An emerging economy, Turkey is one of the fastest growing markets, but with growth came development. Since the 1930s, women began gaining power and rights, such as voting rights. But with this increase of access, also came limitations and challenges. You want the true story? Well, they would only know it. Join us as we interview a Marmara University student and a professional woman entrepreneur. Thank you, Uslam, for coming, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions about Turkish women, specifically in the business world. My first question would be, could you tell me a little bit more about your views or your opinion on Turkish women here in Turkey, of course, and in the business environment?
We are getting more involved in business, and we are not too conservative and do not live in Islamic Persian. In the past, it's hard to get a college or studying in university for the women, but nowadays and last decades, it's getting easier to get the college, and the families gives importance on the education of women too. And we are now working in many positions in every industry and in every companies.
Well, Zainab, thank you very much for giving me
My
some
pleasure.
time.
Thank you.
As you already know, I'm researching the topic of Turkish women in the business world. And my first question would be, what is your perspective on Turkish women in the business world?
I think that there have been, I see many similarities, I think, for women all around the world. I don't think the obstacles we face as women are that different, no matter which culture we come from. Obviously, they're more pronounced in certain cultures. And I think Turkey sort of straddles on Western and more Eastern cultures in terms of women's exposure to business opportunities. Turkish women were among the first ones to get the right to vote, even before many European countries, including US. So we've always been different than other more predominantly Muslim countries. But I think that over the years, even though Turkey has gained so many economic economic incentives.
Having understood the view of a student and professional of business women in Turkey, we then asked, what were the challenges they believed women faced in business?
Some of men support this idea of being involved more women in business, but some also do not want because they think that they are losing power and they are losing their position, and they are fear about the idea of women in the higher position in the company. Yeah, but we have already got some positions. Yeah.
As for Zainab, when asked what challenges businesswomen faced in Turkey, she directed her answer to allowing others to decide for them. Zainab emphasized that growth was your decision and females had to take power.
I don't think women are really where they need to be in terms of professional competencies, but because I think OECD countries were the last one in OECD countries in women's employment, that has certain cultural issues, obviously, and of course, the more men make a living, the more women feel like they can be home and stay with their kids, so that there's always an element of choice. But overall, I think that there should be more opportunities for women to have the choice to whether or not they want to go into the business world.
How do you picture Turkish women in the business world 10 years from now, because of the fact that men are seeing it as their power being lost and women are gaining this power? So what would you say, would that create some sense of fear for women and women will stop progressing, or do you feel that women will continue to emerge and keep on growing in the business world?
I think they should adapt this situation, and because women do not stop, the progress is continuing, and we are getting better in this situation, getting more involved in 10 years, I guess. Yeah, they don't wanna, some part of them, they don't wanna get involved us, but we are doing this. Yeah, in 10 years in the future, it's gonna be better, I guess.
They make up 50 to 50% to 51% of the world population and Turkey's population. But if you look at proportional representation in anything in business boards and corporate, staff or in parliament, it's always lower percentages. So there is huge room for growth in everywhere because we're not a minority yet we're treated like one. And I think that is my biggest pet peeve. I mean, women should have all educational rights, not that they don't, but they should take advantage of all educational opportunities, and then they should be represented equally in really every field because we're just as good as men.
And there you go, the truth behind business women in Turkey. Women continue to acquire skills necessary to succeed. They continue to face challenges such as confronting men who want to impede their growth and confronting those who want to make their decisions. But the hope remains high. Faith is the last thing these women will lose. There is definitely room for growth. With that being said, I will conclude this interview session, and good luck to all women out there who continue to fight for their rights.